Okay, so with springtime rapidly approaching and the Hendrickson hatch, at least in the state of Michigan, is typically our trout opener, I thought it would only be fitting to go ahead and show you a Hendrickson pattern that was shown to me from John McLain, but is actually a Chauncy Lively pattern and technique. It's a burnt wing reversed hackle mayfly. So I thought I would do this for the hatches swap via day 5. So here's the fly. Take a quick look at it. The wing consists of a hen neck. Just pull a couple feathers, put them back to back. And in this particular pattern we use wing burners. Several different kinds of wing burners out there. This is a set of Renzetti's. They come in 3 sizes. Small, medium, and large, if you will. And there's several out on the market, but this one I particularly like, and I use it frequently because it really has the mayfly wing silhouette. Probably not available anymore. It's called Dave Shoop's wing thing, but and I'll show you how we do that. And the body is just some Spirit River Hendrickson color superfine stubbing. And for the hackle, I'm just using anything I got here. I'm probably going to use this color here, but that's pretty much it. So why don't we go ahead and crank one of these out. Okay, with the hook and the vise, the thread started at the front, worked my way to the back, and now I've just creeped up to the tip or the point of the hook. And whenever I use, when I'm tying in tails, dry fly tails, I try to use the sides of the neck where they have these things called spade hackles. They're a little bit darker and they're much stiffer, and they really help support the fly. There's only a few of them on each neck, and in fact if you buy too high a quality of a neck, the upper range whitings, you won't find any spade hackles. In that case you could use the he's developed a Coq de Leon tailing packs. So I've just stripped out one of the spade hackles. It's real simple. I'm sure all of you have tied dry flies before. Even up your tips. Dry flies using a standard dry fly hook. Tail is equal to the length of the shank. That's pretty good there. Once I've tied that in, then we'll proceed back up front and we'll prepare the wings for tying in. Okay, so all I've done is grabbed a couple of the feathers out of a hen neck. We're going to put those so that they're splayed. Together, line up the tips. However, because we're burning this, if the tips aren't perfectly lined up, it's not a big issue. Alright. And I'm going to simply stick it in my wing burners. Go ahead and give them a burn. Okay, so with the wings burnt, they're ready to be tied in. And all I'm doing is pulling back on the barbules at that right length. I'm going to set that right up in here. Lock those in. Pull back on them as you would any dry fly. Build a dam. And because these are splayed out, you really don't need to do a figure eight. But if you wanted to do a figure eight, you could. They have a tendency to want to just go ahead and splay out on their own, but there's your figure eight. And then we'll go ahead and grab a hackle off a dry fly neck, size 14. And here it is right here. And what we're going to do, lost a fly, trim it off. I'm going to tie it in so that the dull side faces forward. And because this is a reversed hackle fly, it gets tied in at the front. Secure it with a few wraps. And then I'll get the dubbing. Okay, so here's our dubbing. Just need a small amount. And I take and pull the dubbing apart and sort of stack it. You want to get the dubbing to be even. This is way too much dubbing, but typically right out of the pack, the dubbing is not consistent. Go ahead and dub a body. Sort of gets thin in the front, a little heavier in the center, and tapered back off in the rear. The neat thing about this fly is that it really represents a fantastic silhouette of a true Hendrickson. If your dubbing gets loose on you, just go ahead and tighten her up. Alright. Because it's reversed hackle, I use the rotary hackle pliers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and secure that with 3 wraps. And then we're going to use the large Mattarelli. And then I'm just going to come around the bottom, pull up on the tail a little bit. Actually go around the back side of that. Alright. And then as a final thing, and that's very, very important, we turn the fly upside down and we go parallel. And we cut a little groove right out of the bottom of that. Okay? And I gotta tell you, let's see if we can move this stuff away. And I'll point down on this a little bit if you can see this. There's some of the flies I've been tying for this, but I don't know if we can see this or not. It'll be a little bright. But normally, this fly lands right side up. Oh, it's off the table. It's out of here. Normally, dropping it, it lands right side up every time. And it just looks like a little sailboat going down the river. Very, very easy to see this fly. And I'm telling you, it's a pattern that John McLain showed me. Look at that, every time it flips right up. Very, very good pattern. In fact, he tied numerous hennies for Rusty Gates of Sabo. Anyways, that's a burnt wing, reversed hackle, Hendrickson. Hold up on it. And I really want you guys to give this a try. Of course you're going to, because you're going to be getting one of these flies. But give it a try. You can do it with any mayfly. But I'm telling you, the key is you V out the bottom side so it sits a little bit down in the water. Fantastic pattern. Give it a try.